Hey there, and welcome back. I want to talk a little bit about Kyler Murray and his potential to win MVP. But before we jump into the video, hit that subscribe button if you do enjoy NFL content. Also, leave a like if you do like this video. Now, Kyler Murray is 2-0 to start the season, and he has looked really, really impressive. I've thought about him as a preseason potential MVP candidate, but now he's starting to solidify his status as a potential MVP of this league. This could get really interesting. Reason being, Kyler Murray is so dynamic with the football. He reminds you a lot of Russell Wilson. He's quite a bit more athletic than Russell Wilson. He's a great improviser. He is progressing as a passer as well. He can make a lot of great plays. We've seen it against Tennessee. We've seen it against Minnesota. The Cardinals are really dangerous right now. Reason being, Kyler Murray is leading this offense. There were a lot of pre-draft questions about Kyler Murray, standing at only 5'10", but he definitely makes up for it with his athleticism, his escapability, his ability to rush the ball as well. There's so many components of his game that are phenomenal and that translate well for a quarterback. He does have some very interesting weapons as well. Let's take a look at him. He has DeAndre Hopkins. Christian Kirk is an emerging receiver now in this league. Also, rookie Rondale Moore from Purdue is producing at a very effective clip. He had a 70-yard touchdown against Minnesota where Kyler Murray was just a magician. Now, the offensive line has some issues against the Vikings, but Kyler Murray can kind of mask that for an offensive line. Danielle Hunter was really getting after him, but there were some plays where he just made that Minnesota D-line look absolutely silly. I think even if they had lost this game, this would still be in consideration. Yes, they're 2-0. And no, I don't think this is an overreaction. Even if they were 1-1 going into next week, I still have the feeling that Kyler Murray could win MVP. Now, I don't think that there's a ton of people that would disagree with this being a true possibility. Reason being, he can put up the big numbers, and he also could lead this team to the postseason, which would be really impressive. Overall, Cliff Kingsbury does not have a great record in terms of what he has at the NFL level, nor at the college level in terms of actual win-loss. Kyler Murray is in the perfect offense. They can really unlock him here. I think Kyler Murray kind of, like I said, masked the offensive line. They're going to have a tough road. Why? Because this is the most stacked division in football, that NFC West, with you have teams like the 49ers, Rams, Seahawks, all potential playoff teams. Now, if they're able to somehow get to the postseason with the current roster that they have, that would be pretty impressive. Considering their tight end number one is Max Williams. Max Williams looked really good in that past game on Sunday. He was a consistent target, a guy that Kyler Murray was heavily leaning upon. I do have a little bit of questions about the run game. You have Chase Edmonds, you have James Conner. You don't have a true dynamic running back. I think in the future they will look to address that. Maybe a guy like Travis Etienne that they could take in the draft. That would be an interesting pairing. A player like him in his caliber. But for the Arizona Cardinals, they have a couple of areas that they need to improve, especially defensively. At that cornerback spot is something that they will consider in the draft. But kind of getting back to Kyler Murray and some of the MVP candidates, obviously Patrick Mahomes year in, year out. Tom Brady, great start to the season as well. He will be in that MVP conversation. There's so much to like about his chances. Outside of Tom Brady, Josh Allen's another possibility. I know people aren't going to think Lamar Jackson, but he very well could win it still with his ability to rush the ball and how dynamic he is. There is always a shot for a running quarterback like him, and he is a consistent winner. We've seen it against Kansas City. They are pretty depleted in the running back department, but I think that he would have a shot as well. Obviously, Aaron Rodgers didn't get off to the best start, but there's always a chance that he can turn it on. He's always a phenomenal finisher in terms of postseason or the end of the regular season play. So Kyler Murray is right in that conversation for the NFL MVP, and he continues to get better every single season. There's very few quarterbacks that can make plays outside the pocket like him. He's so elusive. He's so dynamic. Sometimes he tries to hit the home run ball too many times. On the year right now, he has 689 yards, 7 touchdowns, 3 picks, 121.5 quarterback rating, and 2 rushing touchdowns on top of the 7 passing touchdowns. So he's had a phenomenal start to the season, but so is Tom Brady, just to kind of give you a little perspective. He is right up there statistically speaking as well. But 2-0 Cardinal start, that is not something that we were fully anticipating, judging the schedule that they started with. They shocked a lot of people in week 1, and they really shocked some people in week 2. It looked like at some points in this game that Minnesota was absolutely going to run away with it, especially early in the game. But Kyler Murray turned it on. He hit some huge plays, especially that one to Rondale Moore, like I had highlighted earlier. There's a lot of playmakers on this roster. Christian Kirk has definitely emerged, a guy that's finally starting to get his feet in the NFL. Definitely a player that we should be watching. And DeAndre Hopkins is a special talent, can really unlock what Kyler Murray can do as well. I'd like to see them upgrade in the run game a little bit, but really at this point in the season, that doesn't happen that often for teams. So Kyler Murray overall, I think he's got a pretty good shot. You consider him with the top quarterbacks in this league. It's very tough to deny his talent, his ability to evade pressure, his ability to make big time plays. He does a really good job actually keeping his eyes down the field, and he often creates way more time in the pocket than a normal quarterback could. He hides some of those deficiencies along the offensive line. They've been trying to build it a little bit, but overall, he does a great job masking issues for a team. Very similar to Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson also could be in that MVP conversation at some point in the year. He generally is, but he is very much like Russell Wilson, does a great job keeping his eyes down the field, evades pressure, he has an elite sense of pressure from behind as well, and therefore creating a lot of opportunities himself to roll out, even with blindside pressure coming. Does a wonderful job evading that kind of pressure. So overall, my concluding thoughts on this: Kyler Murray should be in that conversation. He's proving that he is a worthy quarterback. He's proving he's that true franchise quarterback and can eventually work himself into being a potential top 5 quarterback at some point in his career. And it might come sooner than we think, just with his dynamic ability to to make the big play that you need. So Kyler Murray, very, very interesting player moving forward. I think that we will see him in that MVP conversation. If you did enjoy the video, please hit that like button. Also subscribe if you do enjoy NFL content. We will be posting more and more NFL content as the season progresses. Thanks again for tuning in, and we'll see you guys in our next video.